Karen Bass might be interested in this post.
Well, I hope she is.
Would you endorse her? Would you endorse her?
Have you had conversations with Karen?
Certainly, she's my constituent, and she represents me in the assembly, and we talk about items and issues. She knows the district very well, and I would hope that she would be one of the people to consider running, and I would be very happy if she would.
Congresswoman, what will happen with your work for women's reproductive health with regards to
Whoever
mercury?
takes my seat has to carry it on. We have been working for years to alert people to the fact that that silver filling that you have in your mouth is 50% mercury, one of the most toxic substance in the environment. And you just need to know this. It might be cheap, inexpensive, but it's always giving off vapors that go to the brain, tax the meninges, and you wonder why children are dulled down. I had to go out of the country to get mine removed, and Kelly was right there filming it, and it changed everything about my health. She knows. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
So we're going to stay on that issue, just like smoking. It took us 14 years, Gwen knows, to get that policy. And we were the first state in the union to have no smoking in California airspace. You remember that? And that was Jerry Brown. Looks like he's coming back. Any other questions?
Congresswoman, one accomplishment that you really feel was important to you over this
Yeah. Number one, we helped write the welfare reform legislation 1996. President Clinton sent me a message. He said, I'm going to sign, but you're going to tell me how to fix it. And I went into San Francisco, rented a motel room by myself, and I did the design. Of course, my colleagues didn't want me to head up, and so there were 4 chairs. But what we did, we wrote a program based on allowing mothers, and 85% of our recipients are mothers with 2.7 children. Don't ask me how the 0.7 gets in. But to allow them to stay at home for 6 weeks with their newborn. Then they would go into the community college, and I have several community college people here in the president from West LA, and they would be retrained because the average age of people coming in was 27. And then they would be trained, Sandra Davis, to find jobs that fit their curriculum, fit their resumes. We got $500,000 off the first year we instituted. My staff wrote the plan, finally. We had 3 years of debate. So I'm very, very proud of that accomplishment. I am proud that we introduced a GAP plan in 1985. I could not get 1 vote to have it heard, but it was a gang abatement plan. It was 10 bills, such as having social workers stationed in schools, identifying the wannabes, working from school into the home, neighborhood, community, and so on. Could not get a vote because they didn't understand what I was bringing to them. And I said, listen, I'm talking to you about gangs. They now are becoming very violent with guns and drugs and all, but you don't know the issue, so you don't understand my solutions. But I don't come to you with just the trouble, Mark. I come with solutions too. I said, well, let me just say this to you as I leave the podium. I said, they are rolling on very swift wheels. They will roll into your neighborhood soon. 2 weeks later, we had a drive-by in Rancho Arroyo. Over the years, every one of my bills was taken up by some other member, Alan Robbins, in the Valley, and so I really got my plan out. But I initiated, I brought the issue to them. I'm very proud of that. There are many, many things we did for families, children, that I'm very proud. And when I left the Senate after 20 years, my staff gave me a notebook, and I can share it with anybody who'd like it. We're going to do 6,000 bills. We did not get them signed into law, but at least we raised the issue. And I could do that as Chair of Health and Human Services, and I did it often. And I had 1 day a year that I would bring in various communities and talk about their health. So there are a lot of things that we were able to at least put on the agenda. And with that, I'm very, very full of gratitude and satisfied that I could bring these issues.
Ma'am, do you think there will be a healthy and highly competitive Democratic primary, no matter who you endorse?
Yes. And it will be of a high level, because anyone I associate with will know the issues that really grow out of our community. And remember, I have part of my district is where we sent you the Crips and the Bloods. Now they're worldwide. And so I have to have people who are sensitive to the special needs. Adam Burton knows, he used to work for Kenny Hahn, the great, beloved, distinguished Kenny Hahn. And these people helped to train me. And we pass that on here, and we pass it on there, and we're passing it on to you and anybody else around here. And that aspires to go into office. You must get out. You work with the police. You work with firefighters. Hi, Larry Moore. You work with education. And Larry Moore and I got our PhDs together from Claremont. And so we fight for the rights of all children to have a quality education regardless of where they live.
Here, here.
That's why I fought against Bobby Howe, come on up so you can get this, and I'll come and do your radio. But here's the thing, that you've got to have a voice for the people who are at the lower end of the totem pole. My office is located in Hancock Park, some of the wealthiest real estate in the state. Hancock Park, Larchmont, and so on. But yes, and they can take care of their own issues. You have to represent them. But you gotta get down to those at the bottom and lift them up. And that's what all of these people who surround me have been able to do. Percy, and I've worked with your boss, Senator Diane Feinstein. Together we brought Diane Feinstein and Barbara Boxer to our community, and they won. And by the way, when they won years ago, it was the first female team, Democrats, to ever win for the Senate at the same time. Wow. So that's because she understood the community, and we thank you for
So, I'm sorry, are you predicting that there's going